A soft piano melody drifts in, delicate as mist settling over a quiet lake, joined by the faint chirp of birds beyond an open window. The screen opens on a slow, sweeping view of a home at dawn. Golden light spills across a worn wooden floor, brushing the edge of a simple oak table where a single teacup rests, steam curling upward like a whispered secret. The air feels still, unhurried, as if the world is pausing to breathe. A deep, warm voice begins, steady as a trusted friend by a fireside, each word measured, wrapped in calm, carrying a quiet strength that feels like a hand resting gently on your shoulder. Life can feel heavy, can't it? The weight of things, objects, memories. The quiet clutter of years can settle into your home, your heart, until the space feels smaller than it should. If you've stood in a room and felt the walls pressing in, heavy with too much, you're not alone. There's a kind of courage in letting go, in choosing space over stuff, peace over chaos. Today, we're walking through a story of release, 15 items. Seniors are gently setting aside to make their homes clean, spacious, and filled with calm. A single violin note weaves through the piano, soft and unhurried, as the camera lingers on an elderly woman standing by a window, her silver hair catching the light, her hands resting lightly on a woven basket. These are the 15 items we'll explore. Old magazines and newspapers, excess kitchen gadgets, unused clothing, duplicate household items, broken furniture, outdated electronics, expired pantry goods, unused hobby supplies, sentimental clutter, extra linens and towels, old paperwork, decorative knick-knacks, unused exercise equipment, forgotten storage boxes, and unnecessary books. The camera shifts to a cozy living room where a stack of magazines sits in a corner, their glossy covers dulled by dust, their pages yellowed by time. First, old magazines and newspapers. They gather quietly, don't they? Piled on coffee tables, tucked into baskets, or stacked in corners. They hold stories from years long past headlines of forgotten events. Recipes you meant to try, articles you thought you'd read again. Picture a man, his hands weathered but gentle, sitting in a worn armchair by a window. The morning light catches the lines on his face as he lifts a stack of magazines, feeling their weight, the texture of the paper under his fingertips. He flips through one, pausing at a faded cover from a decade ago, a smile flickering as he recalls a moment tied to it. But the moment passes, and he sets the stack into a recycling bin with a soft sigh. The room seems to exhale with him, the corner now bare, sunlight pooling where the clutter once stood. Keep one or two. Perhaps a recipe clipped from a 1980s issue, a headline that still makes you smile, and let the rest go. The space feels lighter, like a deep breath held too long, finally released. It's not about erasing the past, but making room for the present, for the quiet moments that matter now. The screen fades to a kitchen, sunlight filtering through a linen curtain, falling on a countertop where a single kettle gleams, its surface polished by years of use. Second, excess kitchen gadgets. Those tools. We once swore we'd use the bread maker that promised fresh loaves, the juicer that was going to change your mornings. The waffle iron you bought for a holiday brunch now sits silent, gathering dust in cabinets or crowding countertop. Imagine a woman, her apron slightly frayed, her hands steady as she opens a drawer crammed with gadgets. She pulls out a vegetable peeler, its handle chipped, and sets it aside, then a sandwich press she hasn't touched in years. Her eyes settle on a single wooden spoon, its handle worn smooth by years of stirring soups and sauces, a tool that feels like an extension of her hand. She smiles, keeping it, and places the rest in a box for donation. The kitchen feels open now, each tool chosen with care, each one used with love. The act of letting go isn't loss. It's making room for what matters, for meals shared with family, for mornings spent sipping tea in peace. The counter gleams, unburdened, and the air feels lighter, like the kitchen itself is breathing easier. A soft breeze moves the curtain as the camera pans to a closet, its door ajar, revealing neatly hung shirts and jackets, some faded, some unworn. Third, unused clothing. Wardrobes hold more than fabric, they hold who we were. The jacket from a job long left behind, the dress that no longer fits, the scarf you bought on a whim but never wore. Picture an elderly man standing before his closet, his fingers brushing a faded sweater, its wool soft but stretched. He remembers wearing it on a crisp autumn walk, the leaves crunching underfoot, the air sharp with promise. But it's too small now, the elbows thin, the memories woven into its threads no longer needing to take up space. He folds it gently, placing it in a donation box, keeping only what fits his life today: soft flannels, a warm coat, a few shirts that feel right. The closet breathes easier, and so does he, the weight of unworn memories lifted. Each piece kept is a choice, a quiet affirmation of who he is now, not who he was. The camera lingers on the closet, now sparse but intentional, sunlight slipping through the slats, warming the wood. The scene shifts to a pantry, shelves lined with jars and cans, some gleaming, some forgotten, their labels peeling. Fourth, duplicate household items. How many spare spatulas, extra mugs, or mismatched plates do we keep, just in case? Imagine a couple, their laughter soft as they sort through a drawer, finding 3 can openers when one would do. They hold each one, testing its weight, its grip, and keep the sturdiest, the one that feels right in their hands. The others go into a donation box, their metal glinting one last time before they're passed on. The drawer closes easily now, no longer jammed, the kitchen quieter, more intentional. Less is not empty, it's clear, like a sky after a storm has passed. The camera follows them to another drawer, where they find 5 pairs of scissors, some dull, some redundant. They keep one sharp pair, the blades gleaming, and let the rest go. The act feels simple, but it's profound, a reclaiming of space for what serves them now, for meals cooked with care, for moments shared over coffee in a single, cherished mug. The camera moves to a corner of a living room where a broken chair leans against the wall, its wood chipped, its cushion sagging, a silent reminder of a promise to fix it someday. Fifth, broken furniture. It sits, heavy with good intentions, but someday never comes. Picture a woman, her eyes gentle, running her hand along the chair's armrest, feeling the splintered wood under her fingertips. She remembers the evenings spent reading in it, a cup of tea balanced on her knee, the pages turning slowly in the lamplight. But it's beyond repair now, the frame too weak to hold her. She moves it to the curb, her steps slow but sure, and the room opens up, sunlight stretching across the floor where the chair once stood. A new chair, simple and sturdy, takes its place, chosen with care, inviting her to sit, to rest, to be. Letting go feels like a quiet victory, a reclaiming of space for living, for moments that matter now. The camera lingers on the new chair, its clean lines catching the light, a symbol of renewal. The music swells slightly, still soft, as the screen shows an old television. Its screen dark cords tangle behind it like forgotten vines. Sixth, outdated electronics. Old radios, cassette players, phones that no longer charge, they linger in drawers, heavy with nostalgia, their buttons worn from use. Imagine a man unplugging a dusty VCR, its plastic casing scratched, its tapes long lost. He smiles, remembering movie nights, the hum of the machine as it rewound a favorite film. But it belongs to the past, not the present. He sets it aside for recycling, the drawer now empty, the room a little brighter. Each release is a step toward clarity. The camera pans to a shelf where a single radio remains, its wood polished, its dials still tuned to a favorite station. He turns it on, and a soft jazz melody fills the air, blending with the morning light, a reminder that what stays should bring joy, not weight. The camera shifts to a pantry, jars glinting in the light, some labels faded, some contents long past their prime. Seventh, expired pantry goods. Cans of soup past their date, spices that have lost their scent, boxes of cereal that crunch no more, they sit, unnoticed, taking up space. Picture a woman, her hands steady, checking each jar, each tin, her fingers brushing against the cool glass. She keeps what's fresh, what she'll use for soups or stews, and lets the rest go, the jars clinking softly as they're set aside for recycling. The pantry feels alive now, ready for meals, for sharing, for life. It's a small act, but it feels like renewal, like tending a garden, pulling weeds to let the flowers bloom. The camera lingers on a single jar of honey, its amber glow catching the light, a promise of sweetness for mornings to come. The scene moves to an attic where boxes hold forgotten craft supplies, yarn in tangled skeins, paintbrushes stiff with old paint, beads scattered like forgotten stars. Eighth, unused hobby supplies. They were dreams once, projects begun with hope, now gathering dust in corners. Imagine a man opening a box, finding half-finished knitting. He runs his fingers over the soft blue yarn, the color of a lake he loves, and decides to keep it, to finish it one day. The rest, brushes, beads, fabric scraps, go into a donation box, destined for someone else's dreams. The attic feels lighter, the weight of unfinished projects released, leaving room for new possibilities, for walks by that lake, for moments of quiet joy. The camera follows the yarn, now neatly coiled, resting on a shelf beside a single photo of his daughter, a reminder that what stays should spark hope, not obligation. Camera pans to a shelf crowded with trinkets, a porcelain figurine, a faded photo frame, a chipped mug from a long-ago trip. Ninth, sentimental clutter. These are the hardest, aren't they? Objects tied to memories, to people we've loved, to moments we fear losing. Picture a woman holding a small glass bird, a gift from her sister years ago, its wings catching the light. She smiles, remembering their laughter, their shared secrets, but she knows her sister would want her to live lightly. She places the bird in a box for her niece, who cherish it and keeps a single photo of them together, its frame simple but warm. The shelf holds only a few treasures now, each one chosen, each one meaningful. Letting go doesn't erase the memory, it honors it, giving it space to breathe, to live without crowding the present. The camera lingers on the photo, the sisters' faces bright, the shelf around it calm and uncluttered. The screen fades to a linen closet, towels stacked high, some frayed at the edges, some never used, their colors faded or too bright. 10th, extra linens and towels. How many do we need, really, to feel at home? Imagine a couple sorting through the stacks, their hands brushing as they pull out a soft, well-loved towel, its texture familiar from years of use. They keep a few like it, a single set of crisp sheets that smell faintly of lavender, and let the rest go to a shelter where they'll warm someone else. The closet feels airy now, simple enough. It's a quiet gift to themselves and to others, a choice to live with what's needed, not more. The camera lingers on the closet, its shelves sparse but tidy, sunlight slipping through a nearby window, warming the folded linens. The camera shifts to a desk, papers spilling from drawers, old bills, letters, receipts, their edges curling with age. 11th, old paperwork. It piles up, heavy with the past, cluttering the present, a weight we carry without noticing. Picture a man, his glasses slipping slightly, sorting through a drawer. He finds a letter from his son, its handwriting faded but familiar, and sets it aside with a smile. The rest, tax forms from a decade ago. Warranties for appliances long gone go into a shredder, the hum of the machine a quiet release. The desk is clear now, a space for writing, for thinking, for being. The act feels like unclenching a fist, letting tension slip away, leaving only what matters: a letter, a few documents, a clean slate. The camera lingers on the desk, a single pen resting beside the letter, sunlight catching the ink's faint shine. The scene moves to a mantel, crowded with small figurines, dusty candles, faded souvenirs from trips half forgotten. 12. Decorative knick-knacks. They were chosen with care once, each one a story, but now they blur into noise, crowding the eye, the heart. Imagine a woman gently wrapping a ceramic angel, a gift she no longer loves, but once held dear. She keeps a single vase, its curve catching the light, its simplicity a quiet joy. The rest go to a thrift shop, where they'll find new homes, new stories. The mantel feels calm now, each piece deliberate, the room quieter. Less is not bare, it's intentional. Like a poem with only the right words, each one chosen for its weight, its beauty. The camera lingers on the vase, a single flower resting inside, its petals soft against the smooth ceramic. The camera pans to a garage, where an old treadmill sits, its belt worn, its frame heavy, a silent monument to good intentions. 13th, unused exercise equipment. Promises we made to ourselves, now silent in corners, gathering dust. Picture a man, his steps slow but steady, looking at the treadmill he hasn't used in years. He remembers the hope it held, the mornings he planned to run, but life moved differently. He arranges for it to be donated, imagining it helping someone else, someone ready to run. The garage feels open now, space for new possibilities, for walks in the park instead, the air fresh, the sky wide. Letting go feels like freedom, like stepping into the light. The camera lingers on the empty corner, sunlight streaming in, a bicycle now parked there, its handlebars gleaming, ready for a ride. The screen shows an attic, boxes stacked high, their contents a mystery, their weight a quiet burden. 14th, forgotten storage boxes. They hold pieces of the past holiday decorations, clothes that no longer fit, mementos from lives we've outgrown. Imagine a woman opening a box, finding an old Christmas ornament, a star that sparkles in her hand. She smiles, remembering winters by the fire, but knows the rest can go. She keeps the star, hanging it on a small tree in her living room, and lets the other decorations, the faded clothes, the forgotten trinkets go to donation. The attic feels spacious now, a place for new memories, not old weight. The act is gentle, like turning a page, like closing a book you've loved but no longer need to carry. The camera lingers on the star, its light catching the room, a single point of brightness in a space now clear. The camera returns to a bookshelf, groaning under the weight of too many volumes, their spines cracked, their pages yellowed. 15th, unnecessary books. Some we've read and loved, some we meant to read, some we'll never open again. Picture a man running his fingers along the spines, pausing at a novel that changed him, its words still echoing in his heart. He keeps it, along with a guide he still uses, a poetry collection that feels like home. The rest textbooks from a career long ended, mysteries he'll never reread go to a library, a school, a neighbor's shelf. The bookshelf is lighter now, each book a choice, the room a little brighter. Letting go is not loss, it's space for what matters, for stories that still speak, for pages yet to be turned. The camera lingers on the shelf, now sparse but intentional, sunlight catching the dust motes dancing in the air. The music slows, a soft piano note fading as the camera returns to the quiet room from the beginning, now even simpler, sunlight streaming through the window, the teacup still steaming on the table. The voice returns, softer now, like a final note held gently in the air. This is the gift of letting go, a home that feels like a deep breath, a space that holds you gently, without weight. You don't need to do it all at once. Start small, with one magazine, one towel, one memory. Each step is a quiet strength, a choice to live lighter, to make room for peace. You're not alone in this. The space you create is yours, and it's enough. The screen fades to black, the music lingering for a moment, then silence, leaving a feeling of calm, of possibility, of a home that breathes with you.